I'm trying this getting ready vlogging thing. I wanted to go explore the city a little bit more today. I plan to go to this Equator Coffee. So this is a coffee roaster chain, and I've been to other locations, but the most famous one was the view to the Golden Gate Bridge. And on the way there, there's also a couple of places I wanted to explore. The hardest thing for me to get into the routine where I get out of the house early in the day so that I can start my day right. The other thing, I still try to find a good editor. It's kind of overwhelming because I realize my episodes, they just take longer to edit, and I start to realize that it's probably just the style of content. So I'm trying to find the person that I can give most of my stuff to. But yeah, somehow my content just takes forever to edit. Where's my... Okay, I'm gonna find the thing before I keep talking because... And it's gonna be very noisy. Let's finish this makeup and just get outside and go to the Equator's Coffee and see what's there on the way. I was out of the apartment and walking towards the marina, and I also wanted to explore some of the cool green spaces on the way. So there's one that is just on this side. It's called the Lafayette Park. The first time I saw it, it looked kind of small, but then on the map it looked big, and then I realized there's just a building in the middle, kind of cuts it into two. But it's quite big, and it's also like a little uphill. There's a dog park on one side. And then the other part, I think it's more just like walking and benches and things you just like sit and relax. But today it's not the goal, so today we're going to the water, and actually you can even see from here. And this is where we're going. So this is the part of the town that is definitely very hilly. So I'm trying to maybe try a different route today to see if there is like a staircase versus just walking down the hill. But yeah, you can see behind me, it's just that steep. I thought always that going down would be easy, but in reality, because it's how steep it is, it's just less comfortable than going up. But yeah, the view is so beautiful. The thing about me is I always feel super sensitive to the sun, so I have to wear glasses almost all the time. And I was just interrupted by this amazing building. It's called Chateau Bleu. I don't know if it's just a historical building. I will do some research. But yeah, this is a part of town that has a bunch of buildings like this. Look at this. It's just like a theater, but I believe it's actually a residential building because you have a garage door. Well, it turns out it was a residential building, and it was actually for sale for almost $4 million in 2017. So some lucky person got this as their home. There's a few of them. There's specific heights. It's quite big. Some of it looks like this part. Like this looks like a Santa Barbara buildings. It's like the Spanish architectural arches. And then on the other side you have this red brick building. They're doing some work, I think. Like all the buildings here, they're historic. Oh my God, this is, look at this. I have no idea what it is, but it's just like, where are we? So it's definitely a very fancy area. And it looks really nice. It's very pleasant to walk here. You're just like looking around at the architecture. It's extremely beautiful. Downside is obviously it's not super flat, so it's not very easy to walk. I just kind of went random direction, and the houses here, I just have to show you. Look at this. Well, actually this looks very similar to the famous Zigzag Street. Look at these houses. They're just so beautiful. That. I believe we must be bordering the Presidio Heights, which is known to be one of the most expensive and luxurious areas in San Francisco. This whole area is just so beautiful. It's I just passed an expensive car and there's a note, nothing inside, because it's known that people break into cars. I don't know if it works, but it's a curious observation. This is very unique, I think, to probably California. I know that in LA there is a similar problem. But this whole area, it's very different from the downtown. It feels like almost a suburban area. The buildings here are just like a piece of art. Look at this one, just one in front of me. Yeah, I'm not the best narrator for the architecture, but the buildings here are just so beautiful. A lot of them are historic buildings that have been preserved and well maintained. And I think what gives the more luxurious feel is all the greenery around it. All these flowers that are just at entryways, and there's a lot of roses and this. Look at this. I'm now all the way down and almost to the beach. The Equator's coffee should be somewhere on the edge, right straight ahead. And then there's the second place I wanted to check is kind of further down to the pier from Equator's, and I think it's a bar. I saw some photos on Google Maps. They seem to have coffee but mostly cocktails, but the reason I wanted to check it out is because the design is so beautiful, and just right in front of me is the Marina. This place is called Fort Mason Center, so it's like a Fort Mason part of the Marina. If you look at the map, we're here. This is the Equator's coffee, which is a bit surprising because I thought I was actually closer to the bridge that has his outstanding views, and on Google Maps the pictures are kind of mixed up. I'm still gonna go inside. Okay, so this is definitely not the place I thought it was, and I asked the person inside of the shop and they told me that the place I was thinking about is actually 30 minutes that way, closer to the bridge. So I think I'll do it on another day, and right now we're going to check the second one. I need to double check what the name is. Second place, it's here, but on Mondays it seems to be open only on the evenings. It says 5 to 10 p.m. and then the rest of the week it's open at 10 a.m. so I'm not lucky today. Peeking through the window, it actually looks pretty cool design, so I'm excited to check it out on another day. It's definitely not the place to come to on Mondays, because I was trying to discover what else is here, and there's this cool bookstore. It's called Arion Press, and it seems like a historic bookstore, but it's also closed on Mondays. But it's like this old industrial area that seems to have been transformed to entertainment space with a lot of different shops and restaurants and museums, which looks really cool. So I just learned a little bit more about the Fort Mason Center. Fort Mason before 1960s was a military post, and it was a big military base through the Civil War era and the World War II. And in 70s it was turned into the center of arts and culture that it is today. So today it's campus for arts and houses over 20 nonprofits. It includes galleries, theaters, museums, and event centers. It also hosts several restaurants, bars, coffee places, and event spaces, and has really beautiful views on the Golden Gate and the Alcatraz. So I find it really cool to see when the places like this gets transformed into cultural places. When we lived in Berlin, I've seen quite a bit of those, and this is another great example, especially right on the water. It's such a beautiful place. If you're around the Marina, I definitely recommend Fort Mason Center. So I came to this place called Wild Seed Cafe. It's a vegan place that I covered in my brunch episode, and I remember it was really tasty, and I'm trying something new today. I ordered the mushroom fritters, so we'll see. Funny thing, in the park I saw wild coyote alert, and then I saw an animal. I thought it was a dog, but now I realize it was a coyote, and it kind of was weird. But let's ask ChatGPT. Hey, what kind of animal is coyote? Is it a dog or a fox? Yeah, so coyote is both dogs and foxes. That's why it's like it kind of looks in between. But I'm pretty sure it was the coyote that was walking at me, and originally I thought it was a dog, but then I realized that it was a wild animal. On the billboard, it didn't sound like they're dangerous. They were just saying don't feed them because then they just get too comfortable around humans and eventually it might lead to having to remove them from the public areas. But yeah, that was an unexpected discovery. I got my mushroom fritters. They look, I thought they would be flat and they're actually more like meatballs, but it's a good portion. Like mushroom donuts. I'll probably head back to the apartment and go to Sephora tomorrow. I wanna dance till the music. So I think I figured out how to get to this tram. And actually, I don't know why, but Google Maps just doesn't show it as a transportation option. But I also used the city mapper, and this one actually showed this tram. And it's one of the most direct ways to get where I'm trying to go. And there is also I don't know what you call it, I think it's a trolley that goes to the same area, and it's actually half the price. But I wanted to use this opportunity to drive this historic cable car. The way to get the tickets, there was a few different options, but the easiest is just to install the app. There's like MUNI San Francisco, and then you buy the ticket there, and there's I can either buy like a single ride, which is $8, or there's also a day pass that includes all the transportation. But I think I'm just gonna go one way and then walk back home. And if you do the trolley, which is like a regular electric bus, you pay $3, which is less than a half. So this is the final stop on California Street. And I'll just buy the ticket and I'll show you what it's like to ride this tram.
Where are you from?
I'm from Paris, France.
Welcome. Yeah. My name is Cedric.
Cedric, nice to meet you. I'm Kate.
Kate, nice to meet you.
The guy who's operating the cable car, he was doing it for 28 years, which is super cool.
I like it.
It's really nice, yeah. I mean, it depends the areas, but in general, I like it, yeah.
I like Paris. Paris is very cool. In a couple of times.
And he also has like a regular on the tram that is a lady.
I will come over and give you a hug.
And it seems like she was riding it for many years and they know each other, which is like, I don't know, just like so cool.
You can step on the car, look. More likely to be hit coming this way.
I just finished my first ride. It was such a fun ride. I almost didn't notice how the trip has passed. And it made simple public transportation into a really fun experience. I also bought a day pass. It has unlimited rides for 24 hours. So yeah, I mean, if you're in San Francisco, you should definitely try the cable car. It's such a fun thing. And I'm actually being late now to my appointment. I got the chiropractic appointment to fix my back, which wasn't in the best state lately. And I'm running a little late, so I'll see you right after that. I just finished first half of my ride and I went all the way up the hill to the Powell Street, and this is like the highest point. And it's also the intersection where you can change the route. So I just took the CA, I think, and I'm changing for PH. And this is also the place where people take the photos. So before taking another train, I'm just gonna try and take this iconic photo in the middle of the road. I just need to be careful because it's actual road where the cars drive, so. I've been a little bit unlucky with the discoveries this week. So they have this cable car maintenance, and the route I wanted to take to go to the North Beach is actually replaced by a bus. And I mean, I can still take it, but it's just kind of less cool, so I had to change the plans. So this is the one I wanted to take, and it goes all the way to the beach. And this is the one that is still running, so it's kind of a few blocks away. And I think I can still walk there. It goes almost where I need to go, it's just like a few blocks away. So I'm just waiting for the car to come. And the other thing I've learned, you're supposed to hail them. So you're just supposed to raise your arm and hail when they come. And it's very confusing. Like, I guess people who ride it a few times, they kind of know how it works, but for the first time it's kind of confusing. And this PH route seems to be way busier because this is the one that goes also to the Pier 39, and it's the where you can drop, you can kind of stop and get a different transport to get to the famous Lombard Street and the Ghirardelli Square. This one was way busier. If you want to just try the cable car, I would recommend the California Street route, because both ways I took was pretty empty and it's much nicer experience to ride. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention, so those lines, I'm not sure if you hear because I'm using a microphone, but I'll record a different video because there is a cable underneath and it's like constantly turning. It's actually pretty noisy. I don't know if people who live in the buildings next to the tracks, if they feel the vibration and the sound. But it's definitely very audible when you stand on the street next to those. Anyway, the car should be here in like about 5 minutes. This is definitely a busier line, probably one of the most touristy routes. Ends up close to the Fisherman's Wharf, which is a very touristy place here. And it's also not too far from the Pier 39. And to go back, you have a line that is kind of circling around. There's this little end point. There's a lot of people waiting to go back. So I decided that I'm probably gonna walk home from here. But I also discovered that it's very close to the coin-operated machines museum, which is called Musée Mécanique in French for some reason. And I decided to just go check it out now. Basically, this is just this huge room with coin-operated machines, and there is so many of them. I think I'll come some other time to try them because there's just too much choice, and I also don't have cash, and you have to have coins. Duh. There is ample of choice, some older ones, a little newer ones, but it's definitely a really big collection. And in the ones that I found kind of cool, there was old Tetris machine, Star Wars, and then there's the fortune tellers. There was Simpsons machine. Half of them I don't know what they do, but it's definitely a cool thing. So if you're looking for some unconventional entertainment in San Francisco, I definitely recommend checking this place out.